In our region, food producers are facing unique challenges brought on by climate change. Our Lisa Beth Kovitz has more on how local farmers are dealing with these changing weather patterns.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, farmers from around the tri-state region gather here to sell the food that feeds New York City. But these days, climate change has made farming, well, unpredictable.
This year is wet, there's plenty of rain. I have no idea what next summer is going to be like. There's no looking through an almanac and seeing an average and applying that average to the coming year. Temperature-wise, water-wise, ferocity-wise. A frost used to come around September 15th. That's a date my father would plan to stop expecting crops at. By contrast, I expect stuff till October 15th. There's really no trustworthiness to it, and the idea of seasons is kind of a joke. All bets are off.
And in the middle of all this unpredictability, the storms in our region are becoming more dangerous.
We used to have rainstorms where the rain would come down and you could listen to it and enjoy it, and now everything is a potentially catastrophic world-ending event. With the rainstorm that we had a few weeks ago, we got several inches of rain followed by severe wind, which took corn, which was this high, and completely flattened it down. Luckily, I have amazing people who work on my farm, and they went in and harvested off the ground. And that's not a typical event for a farmer to have to deal with. Raccoons, they rip ears of corn off plants, and you can deal with the raccoon at a time. But, 55-mile-an-hour winds in late August, and when you're 50 to 65 miles inland, it's pretty crazy.
On Sycamore Farms, Smith does his best to innovate, but the problems of climate change loom large, and like a lot of farmers, Smith has questions and concerns.
I would be curious to know what the trends are that are bringing more water to our area, because they're not all storm-based events. We can read them coming across the map and they keep hitting us over and over again. I'd like to know what is affecting that track of moisture that's diverting it from the desert from the southwest and putting it generally in the northeast. I don't understand those weather patterns enough, and I'd like to know what will exacerbate that or what will maintain it.
Turns out, CUNY can help with that. Professor Jimmy Booth of City College had this to say.
It's a terrific and interesting question. When you're looking at satellite images of clouds or animations of the radar for the contiguous United States, one can get the impression that there are storms that are passing from the southwest of the United States up over towards us. And while it's true that the winds, like the jet stream, can make that sort of passage, the moisture, a lot of the water vapor that would be falling in the southwest would never be able to make it over to the northeast because of the Rocky Mountains. The storms that affect us a lot in the northeast are usually storms that develop over the Midwest and then merge with another storm that's coming up the coastline. It's not often, but in these rare cases where you get mergers between two existing storms, that's the recipe for real problems in terms of giant rain events.
Understanding the storms and predicting their occurrences can help a farmer prepare. But even so,
my fears of climate change is that we can't really invent ourselves out of this. One of the great things about growing up in the 80s was the idea that we're all brilliant, we'll figure this out. It's not that big a deal. But you really can't invent yourself out of this at this point. And maybe if we could have, we're 20 or 30 years too late.
This has been Lisa Beth Kovitz for CUNY TV.